Mad Men Sports.
We're
Hey-o.
back. Diamond Dave,
Diamond Dave, pop your collar, son.
No, it's too
Yeah,
late
you
for that.
shouldn't do that.
Cole Jake, and Zach. Oh, Diamond Dave. Cole.
I'm what you get on Christmas if you're bad.
Or, if you really put a lot of pressure on it, you get diamonds. Because pressure makes diamonds. Just like Diamond Dave.
Speaking of pressure, there's a lot of pressure on the Buffalo Bills this season.
There's a lot of pressure on you to make sure we get the sponsors going here. Pizza Amore, the Wood Fire Way, Western New York's best wood fire pizza on Grand Island Boulevard in Grand Island and on Payne Avenue, right down the corner in North Tonawanda.
Don't say
I
that.
could be any corner. They don't know where I am. I'm elusive. John Cena.
I was at training camp.
I'll tell you where Zach lives.
This guy's a fucking wild card.
I'll dox you right now.
I went to training camp on Monday, second day the Bills were open for training camp.
Monday. And Cracker Barrel.
No,
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
And it's
All
It's a
that.
staple.
Do not go to Golden Corral. It
Those things
sucks.
are all the same to me.
Bills look good. They looked like a winning team. They
Look at
looked
the camera.
They looked very good. It was good to be back.
Right?
Football
First time
is
in
back.
2 years.
Don't have a lot of takeaways from it because there was a lot of people there. It was hard to really get comfortable to watch football because it's a very small place.
Overstimulated.
Shakir, Bills receiver, projected to be the 5th right now. Am I saying his name wrong?
No, Khalil Shakir. He's probably the 4th, honestly.
Looks very good. He's going a little Dave guarantee. He's going to make the team.
A diamond lock.
Damn.
Now, I'll say this. Now, he's probably penciled into the 4th right now because Jamison Crowder's been hurt. Jake Kumaro has not been practicing consistently. What other injuries have we endured?
Saffold.
We got Roger Saffold injured so far. Ryan Bates has been hurt. Trey White, he's on the PUP list, but we're thinking he
He's
might
improving.
be back. Yeah. Leslie Frazier said on Tuesday that he thinks that he could be ready for week 1. That might be wishful thinking, but he will not. Maybe he's ready by week 1, but he may not be game ready. In his natural swing of things until maybe week 3 or 4. We'll really have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I was reading through Banged Up Bills on Twitter. Check them out. Oh yeah, they're really good. He's still got a little ways to go. He's not there yet, but he does look like he's improving every day. Obviously, ACL is one of the most
Gruesome. Hardest to
Worst.
recover, especially for a corner.
Yeah.
Turning the hips, which is a lot of hips, but you're putting a lot of grind on your knees.
that's bad. So, we'd rather take our time. And yeah, we'll see him soon.
Now, I'll take it a step further here. Now, we're talking about Khalil Shakir, great prospect for the Bills. But stepping into that number 3 role kind of seamlessly, and Joe Biscaglia from The Athletic and Channel 7, I don't know what his role is every day anymore. Definitely Athletic, but he's saying that Isaiah McKenzie's standing out in every practice thus far. He said that the offense had a tough day on Monday, but come on Tuesday, the offense was lights out. Or Wednesday, excuse me, on Wednesday, Josh Allen looked frustrated Tuesday, wasn't really happy. Dave was putting a lot of pressure on Josh Allen. Closed practice Wednesday. We always talked about it. Was the fans too much for Josh Allen sometimes? But now we have a closed practice on Wednesday. I'm joking about that. It was kind of a narrative last year in the beginning. I think he's outgrown that. There was fans at Kansas City, and there was definitely fans at the New England game last year. He can rise to the occasion.
13 seconds. How are you losing it?
Wind out of my sails there. But listen, you got Josh Allen lighting it up in the red zone. Gabe Davis 2 touchdowns, toe-tapping corner ones from Stephon Diggs. I saw a video they released today, released the training camp tapes. Isaiah McKenzie catching a post route on a dime, shook the defender. I think Isaiah McKenzie is going to blossom. Dave, what are your takeaways from the Isaiah McKenzie experiment? Do you think he takes a step forward?
I think maybe we see that it was maybe Dable, not him. I mean, we're yet to put pads on, so I think maybe pump the brakes a little bit. But McKenzie, I'm a big fan of McKenzie. I think he is going to be the number 3 receiver.
I think that's without a doubt. And, Jamison Crowder might be on the block right now. Good. Not available. Best ability is availability. Isaiah McKenzie knows the system, has the rapport with the quarterback. Could we see Jamison Crowder maybe be a surprising camp cut that maybe we didn't see before? Maybe is now.
I certainly don't think he'll be cut. I think he brings value to this team still, whether he's healthy or hurt. I do think that Isaiah McKenzie, I mean, we've known the Bills staff has been kind of fickle with him, whether truly that was just Brian Dable or Sean McDermott had a role in that remains to be seen. I mean, we'll see. I give it the first 5 weeks of the season. If we see a healthy dose of Isaiah McKenzie, I think it's safe to say that Brian Dable probably held that decision in his hands. But I'm excited. We've all come to love Isaiah McKenzie.
Face of the franchise. He sells feet picks.
Yes. And apparently, do you think it's a bit, or I don't know, it seems like other players on the team are very annoyed by him.
He's probably a menace in practice, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you know that he's going into his 5th year with the Bills? Doesn't that seem
Really?
odd? This is going to his 7th season in the NFL, yeah.
Is-
5th year with the Bills.
As long as the podcast has been.
Yeah.
Are we an Isaiah McKenzie
No, that's
podcast?
5 years,
We've
right?
been a little bit longer. He got picked up midway through 2018. We ended at the end of 2017, so we're a little bit more.
Denver Broncos.
He's a little bit green around the gills compared to what Mad Men Sports brings to the table. I'd still listen to a podcast with Isaiah McKenzie on it. Let us know, Isaiah. These guys have to be watching. What else are they doing during training camp? But watching some
Mad Men.
three dummies talk about podcast, right? No, but I think, we talk about his best year, which wasn't last year, it was actually in 2020, which I think we all kind of would have figured that 2020 would have been his
Especially with
best
that
year.
last game at the Dolphins.
Yeah, he had 5 receiving touchdowns that season, 282 receiving yards, and then, we know a little bit of rushing for him. He had... Hold the fuck up.
Pause. What's up, buddy?
9 rushing yards in 2020. I would have thought he had a lot more. Don't you remember the jet sweeps? I guess maybe those are count as passes, right?
Those
A lot
are
of shovel passes.
Yeah.
On his receiving yards.
Last year he had 9 rushes for 47 yards. I still feel like it's more. In the playoffs, he had to have decent rushing stats, right? Okay, in the playoffs he was 6 carries for 44 rushing yards. That's pretty good for 2 games. Listen, he's a Swiss Army knife. I don't like him in the return game, but maybe that's why Tavon Austin's here now. I think that Isaiah McKenzie has been going into year 7. This is the time for him to blossom.
Yeah, and Dave, you said that Tavon Austin was shining. You want to speak to that?
No, I said Shakir was shining.
We've heard that Tavon Austin looks like he may be locking up a playoff or a position spot.
That was what said. Yes.
Yes.
I haven't heard much about like Von Miller or Ed Oliver or pretty much any of the defense actually.
Well, the problem with the defensive line in these practices is they can only do so much. They're not going to let him drill Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Pads aren't on either. But Deion Dawkins did have an interesting comment that he went against Jerry Hughes every day in practice, and going against Von Miller is something he cannot compare.
I don't think you can. As much as we love and
I would hope so.
appreciate Jerry Hughes.
Well, that kind of tells the testament of how much of a difference the defense may be getting out of the pass rush here. And time after practice, they've been saying Greg Rousseau's been staying on for about an hour to 1 hour and a half after practice to work on certain things that he's learned from Von Miller. AJ Epinesa is shining for the first week of practice.
Really?
Maybe we get a little bit out of this defensive line that we maybe weren't expecting. Well, we were expecting a leap, but maybe we get a little bit further of a leap.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Need some more sex.
That'd be good. Now, I'll tell you on the flip side, Khair Elam.
Oh, giving Stephon Diggs some issues.
But I don't think it's the right issues we're looking for.
Probably not.
I think he's been burned because we keep hearing he's getting burned by Stephon Diggs, and everyone comments iron sharpens iron, which I do agree. But we didn't need iron of Kelvin Benjamin to sharpen Trey White. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you either got it or you don't. Now, I'm not saying Elam's a bust.
It's also the first week of training camp.
And one of the best wide receivers.
100%. Listen, don't let my words get ahead of me here. I'm walking at the same pace of my words. Let me stay here. I'm not saying Elam's a bust. I'm saying that I appreciate this. I think they need to work on his technique a little bit now and see if we can transition that. I think there's a lot of good that can come from him practicing against Stephon Diggs every day. I think that they clashed the other day. They got in each other's face, a little tugging, because I think Elam's starting to cheat a little bit. Hopefully they start seeing that corrected. I think he needs to start working on here and his footwork, and then his athleticism will follow and mold into the headspace and footwork for him. I think there's a lot of brightness of spots. Apparently Dane Jackson's just ripping it up in there, like surprising.
Isn't DeMar
people.
Hamlin too?
Yeah. What were we saying?
McLeod.
Nick
has been
McLeod,
doing
yeah.
good. He might be a roster bubble guy. When I was there, Dane Jackson actually had 2 picks.
Against Josh Allen, yeah. My dad was
Josh
not
Allen.
happy about that.
But
Josh Allen won't do shit.
offense never does well in training camp. They don't need to do well in training camp.
I would like him to. I'm not going to be like, oh, take the.
There's
week
no
off.
chemistry built right now.
How do you guys feel? You guys nervous about what's going on right now? If you guys feel like they're in a good space, do you like that they're in St. John Fisher compared to the last couple of years at home?
I'm looking forward to the season. I'm going to be honest, training camp is an afterthought to me. I'm looking forward to the season.
Is it kind of like, oh man, we're right there, we're right there, we're right there?
I've gotten a taste, and I want it all.
I'm pretty sure we're like 13 days away from a first preseason game.
August, at least for us, August 13th, I believe.
And I don't know who it's against, though.
The first. I don't think it matters. Honestly.
Is it August 13th?
It's the Bears.
Well, I can figure it out. It's right here. Honestly, who's memorizing the preseason schedule?
A lot of people, probably.
It's the Colts. August 13th at 4 p.m. That's a home game. And then we got the Broncos at
Are we
home.
going?
No, I'll be in the Outer Banks that day. And then August 20th against the Broncos. That's Kids Day. You should take Bowie to that day.
We will see.
I have to work. Girls.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Saturday, 1 p.m.
Yeah, we'll see.
He doesn't want to. Bowie.
Bowie, actually, our nephew.
Sorry, Bowie.
Fun story. Got Stephon Diggs' autograph the other day.
Thank you, Stephon Diggs. We know you're watching.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs was going in between hotel rooms, and Bowie was like, "What the hell's going on over here? I better go get my football and get him to sign it."
2 chicks in this hotel room.
And Spencer Brown, and Billy Buffalo. Thank you, Billy Buffalo.
Shout out to Double B's,
Big B's only, baby.
Big Baller Buffalo.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for listening.
Oh, we're done?
I figured.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Except the trade.
See you guys next week. I'll see you guys next week.
Go Bills.
These guys are harassing me.